Let's discuss why you decided to grow your online business. Then we're going to discuss those three big takeaways you discovered in the Effortlessly Booked program that helps you to increase your marketing and sales. So this is Dr. JL Adolph, aka the extra large professor. JL, let's tell our viewers a little bit about you and why you decided to create your own program.
Well, as stated earlier, my name is Dr. J.L. Adolph, extra large professor. I am actual real professor at the university where I have served as an educator for over 17 years. I am a father of four, and the reason why I wanted to get into the world of entrepreneurship is because I noticed it was a group of people, a community that was being underserved. And specifically, it was near and dear to my heart because I am a member of this specific community. So, as an educator, I started, unlike most college students and that sort of thing, I started out as a father of one. And by the time I finished my bachelor's degree, I had like four children and that sort of thing. So you're probably like, whoa, what time do you have for studying? But but
None.
I did. And here's what happened. Throughout my time as a father, I noticed that I was struggling, and one of the things that I was struggling with was I felt like it was a lack of services out there to help people like myself who were fatherless fathers. And so I was able to actually heal my fatherhood trauma in many ways through my mentorship with African American professors who introduced me to literature as well as to hip hop culture. And so, as I was thinking about entrepreneurship and service, I was like, hey, it still is this need out there, is this void to help fathers, especially fathers, in particular, fathers of color, to heal from these fatherless wounds that actually impact us in our everyday life in terms of work, but also in life balance. So I knew that I wanted to do this service, but then I started thinking to myself, I'm just an educator. How can I navigate in these worlds of being one of service and then trying to venture into entrepreneurship? And that's when I saw Effortlessly Booked, and it was the answer.
You joined in on the challenge is what you did, and it was just you drew me in the challenge, and I was like, here, who's this random person that just jumped into my challenge? And it was the Effortless Business Boost, which, by the way, I'm having another challenge in December. It's just a 3-day challenge to help you get more consistent in 2023 with your posting and your content creation. So if you're interested, check out the links below and go to leahsparrow.com and get my free guide so you can get on my email list and be notified when to join the group. So that being said, what I found interesting was your ability to pull people in. I mean, as soon as we did the go live and you did some videos, I was just like, wow, this guy can pull people in. I think that was where I realized that's his zone of genius, is that he can just pull people in by being on stage.
Right,
And
right.
so as we went through the Effortlessly Booked journey, we created a marketing plan that suited your personality, but we had to start out with the basics. So let's discuss your 3 big takeaways you discovered during your Effortlessly Booked journey.
Well, I would say this for anyone who is like myself, I'm a big concepts person. And as you could tell, I have a huge personality. So, what Effortlessly Booked has done was, I would say, the 3 takeaways that I got from it. One was the niche, just being able to take my ideas from here and just make it a little more
And
manageable.
you knew what your niche was. I mean, you had the idea for the fatherless father, creating your own fatherhood idea in your mind. What your concern was,
Right.
do I cater to this type of
Yes.
client or this type of client? That's what
Yeah.
you were trying to decide.
Yeah, and that's what, and and that's really one of the key lessons that I learned from Effortlessly Book. You really have to have streamline your focus, because you want to make sure that you are strategic. So I would probably say the niche was very important for being more strategic. And then I would say once you have your target audience and who you want to serve, the next step for me was really looking at organizing, creating the vision. And we did this through several different techniques. One was like infograph, as
Mhm.
well as content creators. And it's very important because you have a target audience. However, you want to make sure that your vision is very clear and very plain so you could figure out what are the pain points or what are the areas of need that my clients need and how do I meet those. And one of the things that I love about Effortlessly Book, it wasn't just about creating capital. It's really thinking about how do I serve? How do I honestly serve and express myself? And that was really what was so important.
Well,
Uh,
you know what I noticed at the very beginning is after we did your graphic organizer and we created your offer,
yeah.
you went into business guy. And I started to see the guy that was of service drift away, the guy that could pull people in. He started to kind of get put on the back burner. And I immediately jumped in and was like, no, 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 no. Don't don't let go of that guy because it is so important to make a connection with your community. It's so important to, I mean, yes, income, sales, you should always be working on sales with your business. But the thing is if your main goal is always to make money, you're
Yeah,
not going to make the sale, which is
right.
really odd, but it's really making a community of people who believe in your mission.
And you know what? And one of the things it's so funny because when you did drag me from that zone of traveling to the dark side, so to speak, of just going into business mode, you really helped me to rediscover my truth. And my truth is that outside of the capital, this is a community that I want to serve. This
Mhm.
is a community that has been underserved when you talk about fatherlessness and how do we give those who are fatherless the tools, the direction, the empowerment, and that sort of thing to master their own narrative. So let me see, we have niche, and then I was saying writing the vision, and then last but not least, which is the most important that grabs all of these elements, I would say is the mindset.
Mhm.
You have to really honestly believe in yourself. And I will say I struggle. It's so funny. It's my journey as a fatherless father also is kind of very similar to my journey as a budding entrepreneur in the sense that I struggle with imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
And that imposter syndrome can leave you feeling chained with self
And
doubt.
it wasn't like it popped up just one time. It popped up quite a few times. And
Right,
and
quite a
one of the things that was really making it pop up was the fact that your wife is a psychologist.
right, right.
And it's like, well, she's been doing this for X amount of years, and I don't feel it's like,
Right,
dude, you
right.
lived it. You lived it.
And that's the thing that I learned also from you. With Effortlessly Book, one of the things that I say that really sticks out is the fact that this program, which is more than a program, it really helps you to fine tune and enhance your expertise already. True, I am not a psychologist and that sort of thing, but however, I am a father for 22 years. I am an educator of 17 years. I have had a number of different experiences when it has come to raising kids from infancy to teenage year and now college years. And so it's a lot of things. So the mindset I had to develop was to realize that I have something to offer.
You
And
know
that
what? I even had a little bit of a mindset issue because remember when I first asked you, I was like, why are you here talking to a white woman about this?
oh, that's the
And
number one
I was like, I don't know. And I did. I told you, I was like, I cannot speak for you because I am not in no way connected to the issues in your community. In no way can I relate at all. But I felt like I did a pretty good job of being open minded, listening, and really focusing on what your core desire was to book clients.
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, the main thing was like, how do we bring the community to serve?
Hmm.
And you definitely help with in terms of drawing people in the marketing strategies and that sort of thing. But I would say one of the things that helped me to connect with you, other than breaking out into Stevie Wonder, Ebony and Ivory, that sort of thing.
We didn't
Uh,
do that.
yeah, I want to say no, we didn't do
Thank
that at
God.
all.
Thank God.
It was none of Ebony and
None
Ivory
of
and
that
that sort
happened.
of thing.
No.
But but what it was we connected on the idea of the human condition. Um, who can't relate to being a parent?
Right.
Who can't relate to the fact that these kids don't come with with a manual?
Or for that
And
matter, who can't relate to being let down?
right, right.
I mean, really.
And so when you have these fatherless fathers, for the most part, being a fatherless father, I know that I lacked direction, that I felt powerless, and I didn't master, and I didn't really understand the power of mastering my narrative. And so, really, with you in this connection, it really helped me to understand, like from an entrepreneurial standpoint, like okay, I know this is my target audience. This is my niche. This is who I want to serve. I know this is the vision that I have to make clear. And then last but not least, I have to have this mindset of service over capital with at
Mhm.
the same time making sure that that I give that I serve as well as create a service, a living at doing this because I am providing a service that is needed. And like anyone, an entrepreneur, you want to have some compensation for that service. But it has to be the service first.
Yeah,
Oh,
I always told you service first, service first. And that's where I think when we got past that little hump of service first, it's where you said, I've I believe I'm an entrepreneur now.
right,
I
right.
feel because we went from man living the
Hmm.
situation to man serving the community
Right.
and having a service that he can provide to that community. And yes, it's a program they need to pay for. Why? Because I also helped you set those boundaries. Remember, you had a lot of people coming to you wanting free this, free that.
Yeah.
And you said, I am so sick of doing some of this stuff for free.
Yeah. And I want to say this, especially for those who are leaving the world of or who have had a training like I have had as an
A
educator.
life training.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a life training. I've had a life training as an educator, and so much of being an educator is about service, service, serving, giving, and giving, and giving to the point that a lot of times we end up depleted. A lot of
Mhm.
my parents that's watching right now can agree. Like this, we've been programmed in many ways to give to the point that it becomes a thankless sort of job.
Yeah.
However, but the mind of the entrepreneur really is saying that I am worthy of being compensated for the services that I offer,
Mhm.
that I have a gift. And how do we nurture gifts? Well, we nurture gifts through showing appreciation by giving capital to keep that service going. It's the
Mhm.
same, it's similar to what we do pay service for a doctor or when we pay tithes in church, is to keep those sort of services going.
I
And
think when you started setting your boundaries with people about, you get this for that, you get this for this much, you get this for this much, so you could set your boundaries, it created more freedom in your business to really do what you love. And that's when we came up with your, I like to call it the networker public speaker marketing plan, that really it's a
Mhm.
customized plan for you, because we said, okay, yes, the Daily Mingle, which is in my free guide, you can get it at leahsparrow.com, but that it's a foundation. So we just took that and we said, okay,
Mhm.
how can we adapt it and mold it into JL's personality?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? With the Daily Mingle, this has been a wonderful opportunity because one of the things that I've learned through Effortlessly Book is the fact that you can't serve anyone unless you know who they are. And so with the Daily Mingle, it has really brought me, in many cases, out of my comfort zone to actually talk in different fatherhood groups, to engage in conversation with everyday people, and talk about like what are your needs as a father? What are some if you can have this, if you could have a specific service, or if you can get this sort of guidance,
Yeah, you
direction,
did it like
that sort of thing.
constant marketing research and really knowing
Right,
your community so you knew what to offer them. So in the
right.
Effortlessly Book program, there's this hustle mentality of get the course done, do the website, do all the things. But we didn't do that. We went from let's get your offer down. In the
Yes,
first 3 weeks, it was nail the niche, nail the brand, get the offer down, get the roadmap for your marketing and sales. Now let's go out there and let's sell.
right.
And that is our only hustle mentality, is
Yes,
that we get up and we get into our community, we talk to them, we get to know them, we nurture them, we find out what they need, because we're being of
yeah,
service first.
right.
And so what that really did for you was really to understand what they really needed. And when you finally got a chance, I remember when you had that chance to serve someone with your program,
Yes, yes,
that you said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I didn't have to create this thing." So tell
yes.
me a little bit more about your experience about delivering your program for the first time without creating the course first, because so many people think you got to have the course first before you can sell it.
Well, yeah, and this is the thing with this program. It's really more about being proscriptive instead of prescriptive. In other words, I didn't want a run of the mill program where one size fits all. And so by not scripting every step by step by
Yeah, we
step,
basically had an outline of what you're going to.
right. We had a basic outline, but we let room. We it enabled me to create room for the basic human experience. And what I found is I was like, okay, and it really helped in terms of as I was serving this client, it really opened my eyes to this is what I've been dreaming of. This is what I want to do. Because what I really did with this particular client was I helped this fatherless father to break generational curses by learning how to master his narrative. And we used it by using elements of hip hop culture and that sort of thing. But it was great to see him. He had his own particular song, he had his own particular traumas that he was dealing with. And I really got a chance to get in tune with what he was going through
You know what
instead
I
of,
really loved about it is that even after well, before 3 sessions,
yes.
his girlfriend or wife saw a
Mhm.
change in him.
Yes. Yes.
That was just incredible.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I noticed something new in you." And one of the things that he really embraced, and I'll share this, is that through the program, he really got introduced to his inner boy, his inner child that wasn't served um, from his father, and he realized that he can do for himself what it was missed, and it was through that program, and that's
That
whatever
drove
it
your
is.
program.
That's
Yeah.
that was what it's all about. Like, how do you break those generational curses? How do you do that? But I would say it was through this program of, having the outline, but not being too
Chained to a
chained
specific,
to
yeah.
it. Yeah, it was kind of like, I was probably say, it was like Bruce Lee concept of water. You just become the cup. And you become, because water takes whatever form. And when you have your program outlined in the way that Effortlessly Book shapes the contours of the program, you're able to go to the ebb and flow of whatever your client need without making it seem like,
And yet still staying inside your program, setting that
right,
boundary where your client doesn't take you on this, wild tangent and you can't get the
right,
results that are promised by the program. But that's why
right,
you have that outline there that specifically tells you where you're taking them from here to here. And these are the steps
exactly,
that you're going to go through to do it. But your client is also helping you, is you're the guide, you're the
right,
rudder, they're the captain of the ship. So you can
exactly,
basically, what happened over time is that you were able to get materials as you went with each client that you served.
right.
Now you have this like library where you can just, oh, this one's good for this guy. And then as you go, you suddenly realize, oh, I've got this treasure trove of go-to resources. I can start serving groups now. And you're actually looking at that right now.
Yeah, I plan on serving groups. I'm actually in talks with a couple of foundations here in the Atlanta area, where they are bringing fathers who have had the fatherless trauma. And when I say fatherless trauma, I do not mean just absenteeism. It can be, sometimes you could have a father within a household and still sort of have a fatherless
Oh,
experience.
yeah. Yeah.
So they have brought these fathers in, and basically we're just unpacking the trauma. We're basically helping them to deconstruct the stories that they've been told, and help them to craft their new stories. And that's been a amazing part, a testimony that I would say. And again, it was because we created the outline, and it allowed me to just sort of help to navigate. But
Mhm.
but again, they become the captains of their own healing. They become their own ship. And I would say for this can work for any entrepreneur once with this type of program, when you don't have everything so rigid
Yeah.
where it becomes mechanical. Then you have what I consider a fluid human experience, and that's one of the things that I really value.
Well, that's what I value about my program because it's the same way. I mean, of course, I'm teaching you how to deliver a program the same way that I do because I got more results when I let go of the script and said,
Mhm.
"Okay, what do you want to do?"
Right.
And mapped out how to get them there. When I was creating this program, and then I was able to sit down with people like you, Della Martin, Karen Lavecchia. She's inside the program now, and basically sit back and listen to what you need. Where
Yes.
are you right now? And go, okay, this is what we're going to do for you. And we created a marketing plan that you can now look at and review either quarterly, monthly, yearly, and say, okay, this has been working well, but the areas that I need to work on is bringing in more new people into my audience, or ooh,
Yes.
I haven't been nurturing my audience enough. What are other ways for me to do that? You're writing a book, for example. That's something that
Yes.
you have planned for next year to have it released.
Yeah, my book again will focus on fatherless fathers. It's entitled "DJ Drop That Deadbeat." Hip hop's remix of fatherhood narratives, because I use hip hop fatherhood narratives as a way to help. I look at it in the ways that hip hop narratives sort of serve as a form of catharsis and a form of healing, especially for those of us who grew up with a fatherless or a fatherhood trauma. So, it has helped me out. But also with Effortlessly Book, it's also helped me to establish my brand, and have a marketing plan to talk about the main concepts of the book. And pretty soon, we have developed a strategy and a plan for webinars,
Hmm.
speaking engagement,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that is
Email
also
marketing. That's where we're moving next because
right,
you're now a VIP member of the Effortlessly Book community. And so you've decided to keep continuing to
right.
grow. And what I really liked was how you had planned this book before you even met me. You were
Oh
already
yeah,
writing it. But what magically happened was your offer and your book, you didn't have to change anything.
right,
And it
right.
actually, the creation of your offer actually helped you realize how to write your book.
Right, right. It certainly enhanced a lot because it's one thing to have a knowledge base when you're writing. For those of us who have written like a dissertation and that sort of thing, it's great to have a knowledge base. However, it's totally different when it comes to application. So
Hmm.
knowledge is one thing, but application and practice is another. And through this program, in actually serving my clients, I got to see how some of these concepts and ideas, it went from the imaginative and the intellectual sphere to the physical world, and actually seeing how how the work that I do can actually empower and change lives. And so that was one of the things that I learned. I would say with Effortlessly Book, this is something that, that I just thought about. It really is taking us from the creative and the mental space to bringing it out into a physical
You
realm.
made
And
it
a lot,
reality. And I
yeah,
saw I
yeah,
saw you really change from this, teachers tend to, you're a professor at a university, so we tend to go into lecture mode.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we had to really overcome over delivery. But not only over delivery in how you deliver your content, whether it be in the offer itself, whether you're serving somebody who's actually in your program, or whether you're doing something free or a webinar, but
yeah,
also in how you determine what you do day by day, week by week, month by month. Because I showed you through the same steps how to distill something, how to break
yeah,
it down and make it simple so that others can also go,
yeah,
"Oh, that's totally doable. I can do that in the next 30 seconds." That's like what I kept telling you. Do something that tells you that you're like, "Man, I can do that like right now. Yay." And it's not
right,
something where you're
right.
going, "It's gonna take forever. I don't want to do it." You
Yeah, you know what?
know?
And
So
this is a work of, I would tell you, the audience out there, I am still a work in progress because
we
two
are
people,
always a work in progress. It doesn't matter how many years you've been doing it.
right? Because two people you don't want to invite to speak, especially over dinner or anything. It's a professor and a preacher, and that sort of thing. Because, but
They
what
will over deliver.
it was like, I know, like pastors will say, I know you want to go home, but just give me 5 more minutes. You're like, hold on a
But
minute.
I'm hungry.
You're like, that was 3 hours ago, Pastor. But 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 really, I would say this: the distilling process for those in the hip hop community is kind of like when Jay-Z says, "Let the track breathe." In other words, you have to have a moment where you pause or you simplify it and have that pause to allow that client to become the captain of their own healing. In the
Mhm.
same way with an entrepreneur, you have to have a space of pausing. So a space where you pause so that that person, the learner, can become the master of their own teaching.
Oh yeah.
Because it does is because really, as an educator and as a parent, what are we trying to do this for? We want or to become fully functional citizens. And I would definitely say with Effortlessly Book, one of the things that I would say that you did, Leah, was really give me space at times when I needed
Oh,
to,
well, that's it. Yeah, that's the other thing
own-
that I focus on. I mean, there's many times in the program where I've worked with a client and I've gone, I can hear it. I can hear the overwhelm in the messages.
yeah,
I can hear it. And I'm like, you need to take time off. And there's
Right.
many times when my clients, and I think you did it as well. No, 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 no. I can come. I can come. I can put me in, coach. Put me in. And I'm like, you need to
Yeah.
sit, you or you're benched. Okay. You go over
Right.
there and you go do some self-care because that
Right.
that is income creation. Taking a
Right.
moment
Right.
for yourself when you're sitting there and your brain won't shut up and you feel like you're about frazzled and can't take it anymore, that's your cue to go do something for yourself. Walk away for a minute.
It's reinventing what we commonly think of the hustle tradition because, with the hustle tradition, we think of go, 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 go. But it's like it's okay to pause, re strategize,
Know
re
when to move with
energize, and
speed,
move
need to know
forward.
when to bench yourself. Yep.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I want you to tell the audience three things you would like to tell them out there that they can do right now to grow their business and wish to book more clients successfully or consistently.
Well, I'll go for four. The first one I would say is sign up for a program like
Shame,
Effortlessly Booked.
shameless, shameless
So
plug.
yeah, and I would say that seriously, and the reason being is because one, you cannot do this alone. You, if you're an entrepreneur out there that has tried to do everything alone, realize that no man is an island, and so you're gonna have to build a team to support you. So outside of that, I would say one of the things is definitely make sure that you work on your niche. Figure out exactly, when I say niche, who is your target audience? How will you serve that target audience? Um, and then I would say next is to create your sort of vision. And that means actually taking the time to develop your content, write your outlines, to do infographics, to track your clients,
Basically, make sure your message is clear so you can drive your
yeah,
marketing and sales. Just clear it up. Just
yeah,
sit down and think about what are you trying to accomplish? What are the three pain points that
yes,
you're trying to address? Three
yeah.
general pain points, and how will you make that transformation take place?
And yeah, and finally, the last one I would say is develop that mindset. You have what it takes to make it. You just have to believe that you can do it. And it's not going to be an uh I thought positive for today. It has to be a constant self affirmation. You have to realize that you are a work in progress, but nonetheless you are making progress. So you have to just develop that mindset and get in tune with who you are personality wise.
Yeah, yeah. Move with intention and do those everyday things that bring in income. And if you're unclear with that, you need some support in your business and wish to go from few to many clients in your business, you can check out more videos on my YouTube channel or apply for a free session. The link is in the description. Thanks so much, JL. I had a
Not a
wonderful
problem.
discussion with you, and I look forward to continuing our journey together. And everybody else out there, keep rocking your business.
All right. And support Dad Cypher. We're out there. Extra large professor. I'm here to help you heal. Take care.